KYC Studios. This is 3 News at 11.
We start with breaking news from Los Angeles. NBC News is reporting that filmmaker Rob Reiner and his wife, Michelle Singer Reiner, were found dead in their Los Angeles home tonight. A source close to the Reiner family said the couple appeared to have died from stab wounds. Paramedics were called to Reiner's residence on the west side of LA this afternoon when their bodies were then found inside the home. The Oscar-nominated Reiner was known as a prolific director and for his various acting roles over the years, but it was his role as Meathead in the 1970s TV classic All in the Family that catapulted him to fame. Rob Reiner turned 78 in March. And tonight here at home, the lake effect snow machine was winding down, but the snowy, icy conditions remain as crews work hard to clear the roads. Good evening and thank you for joining us. I'm Annabelle Childers. Lena Lai has the night off. The weather is ever changing tonight, still cold and snowy out there. We're going to get right to meteorologist Jessica Van Meter with a first look. Jessica, lots to watch here.
Lots to watch indeed. We did get a little bit of a lull in a lot of that lake effect snow a couple of hours ago, but some of that firing back up off of the lake. We've got some of that diminished visibility again, looking across downtown Cleveland. We've got some flakes flying in the air. It is cold for everyone. 14 degrees for Cleveland, feels like 0 right now, but we do have that lake effect machine that has been very active through the second part of the day. Again, we got a brief lull closer to 8:30, 9 o'clock, and then another burst of snow that we've gotten as our winds are trying to change direction. They're going to continue to change direction as we go through tonight. But right now, much of that snow that we do have for the time being really focused closest to the lakeshore in some of those primary snow belt areas. We've got some decent snow falling across much of Lake County. That includes portions of I-90 there. Some heavier snow at times through areas of Geauga County, especially out across portions of eastern Cuyahoga County, 271, areas of 480. We've got some good heavy snow falling there out towards the Mayfield Heights area and beyond. Snow falling across downtown Cleveland and more of that off to the west across areas of the lakeshore all the way back through Lorain, Vermilion. We still have some of that snow falling. Very snowy across much of the turnpike cutting across the area right now. So this is our next little wave of snow. And again, we're going to work on getting this out of here as we go through the overnight hours. That's going to be the general trend. Our winds are trying to shift around. They're going to come more from the southwest tomorrow, which cuts off that lake effect potential for us. We've had more of a kind of west-northwest wind through the day, helping to fire off a lot of those lake effect snow showers. So lingering lake effect possible right now. That tapers off through the overnight hours. We definitely need a break from that. Still the potential for some icy surfaces. We had a lot of snow from many areas. Crews are out and trying to work to clear things off, but especially untreated surfaces, driveways, sidewalks, things like that. Parking lots definitely going to be icy and very messy overnight and into tomorrow morning and potentially through the day tomorrow as well. So factor in some of that extra drive time. It is going to be cold for everyone, below 0 for many of us to start the day tomorrow. Again, watch for a lot of those slick spots through the morning commute. I think main surfaces, a lot of those highways should be okay. But again, those untreated surfaces, you really got to watch out for. It's still going to be bitterly cold through the day tomorrow. Temperatures only top out near 20 degrees, although we are drier overall. We're going to talk about some improving temperatures from there. Coming up, Annabelle.
Jessica, important reminders there. And as that winter weather does continue, ODOT is warning as well that Monday morning's drive to work could be slick. Natalie Clydesdale has what you need to know before you head out tomorrow.
With low temperatures, you should always expect icing.
Northeast Ohio, we're not out of the woods yet. The Ohio Department of Transportation warns this weekend's storm could impact your Monday morning commute.
We're going to put materials down to help combat that as much as possible. But once the sun goes down, it's really, really difficult for our salt products to do their job, especially in these lower temperatures.
And snow removal crews have been out in full force.
This is our big storm of the year that kind of hit all throughout northern Ohio.
Norm Dietrich, the founder of Reliable Snow Plowing Specialist, a snow removal company based in Macedonia, says his snow fighters have been working nonstop since the snow started falling Friday night. And they'll continue through the overnight hours Sunday.
You have to be continuously monitoring the radar, constantly monitoring cameras, and the changing conditions. That keeps us on our toes.
Meanwhile, Isaac Hunt, a spokesman for ODOT, says about 70 crews are still on the roads, working 12-hour shifts across Lake, Geauga, and Cuyahoga counties.
Battling Mother Nature is always a difficult war to fight, but our drivers do the best they can.
Both Hunt and Dietrich are urging drivers to slow down and plan ahead.
The ice melts don't work quite as well as they do in the warmer temperatures. Give yourself a little extra time, a little extra space would be a great idea for tomorrow morning's rush.
Well, ODOT is reminding drivers to be extra careful around snow plows. So far this year, 10 plows have been hit. Natalie Clydesdale, 3 News.
And for even more wintry weather details, you can check out our website at WKYC.com. And as always, the 3 News app. There you're going to find the latest school closing information, delays, street closures, and parking bans. Now, the Browns didn't have to deal with the snow today in Northeast Ohio, just the brutal cold of the Windy City. Chicago put the Browns in a deep freeze, especially on the quarterback side of the ball. Final score, Bears 31, Browns 3. Chris Wrinkle is here now to break down what happened. Chris, not a great score there.
No, not a great performance across the board for the Browns. After last week's game against the Titans, you thought maybe with the Browns eliminated from the playoff contention, you're just looking for something positive to hang on to over the last 4 games. There wasn't a whole lot positive up in Chicago, a place that the Browns have not won since the late 60s, under 10 degrees at kickoff. And in the Browns' second drive, look at this. Shedeur Sanders has a problem. Apparently the play sheet that he has in his wristband had fallen out. That's a new one on me, but of course the Browns make history doing something we've never seen before. Meanwhile, we've seen this all too much over the last few weeks. Caleb Williams finds DJ Moore for a score, and the Browns' vaunted defense falls behind 14-0. Third quarter, Sanders had a bad day. Bad interception there to DeMarco Jackson. The Bears on the next play. Look at this. Caleb Williams to DJ Moore, and maybe the touchdown throw of the year over 2 Browns defenders. Bears defense stifles the Browns offense, and Caleb Williams does what he does. 31-3 the final.
Biggest takeaway from the game, well, I gotta like decompress, and understand, everything that just transpired for real. So I just showered, I just did everything I could to get ready to come in here, and then I'll be able to watch it and be able to understand, but it's a lot of different things you could think and everything. But the main thing is, decompress, chill, and be able to learn from it,
So if there is any positive to come out of this game, Myles Garrett took a step closer to etching his name in NFL history. 1.5 sacks in this game, meaning he has 1.5 sacks to go to become the NFL single-season all-time sack record. He could do it next week against the Bills. Myles, though, doesn't want his team, now eliminated from the playoffs, 3 to go, to just lie down at the end of the season.
Don't go out with a whimper. Don't go gently into the night. You keep on fighting, and you want to be remembered for your very last play, your very last game, and you want to go out on the best note possible, because that's your legacy.
And don't forget, right after this newscast, sports tonight. I'm in for Nick Camito tonight. We'll have our friend Brian Pulling in studio to break down whatever that was up at Soldier Field. The good news is you don't even have to change the channel. It's happening right after this newscast. 3 to go, Annabelle. Only 3. Browns fans, we're almost there. You can do it.
Chris, thank you, and we will see you later in sports. And new tonight, an update now on Browns legend Bernie Kosar. He released a short video on social media this morning prior to the Browns-Bears game.
NFL game day. Let's have a winning day. You matter. Stay warm.
Now, Kosar returned to the hospital earlier this week to battle an E. coli blood poisoning and an infection. This comes just 3 weeks after his liver transplant surgery, and this is the second time he's been readmitted since that surgery.
I feel horrible. I have no husband. I don't know where is his body. Nobody can give me any answer.
And that was the wife of a mass shooting victim in Sydney, Australia, expressing frustration and sadness over the turn of events that unfolded on Bondi Beach. Here are the latest developments we know. The death toll in that shooting has risen to 15, while 40 people remain in the hospital. A 12-year-old girl and a rabbi are among those victims. Police say a suspected gunman was also killed, and it is believed the attackers were a father and a son. Investigators also say the attack targeted Jewish Australians and took place as hundreds gathered to celebrate the first day of Hanukkah.
So I was just getting ready to go home, and I was packing my bag, got my flip-flops, was ready to catch my bus, and then I started hearing the shots. But at the time we just thought it was like fireworks or something, or maybe part of the festival that was happening.
This was an attack deliberately targeted at the Jewish community on the first day of Hanukkah, which of course should be a joyous celebration, and the Jewish community are hurting today.
The ages of the victims range from as young as 10 to 87 years old. The attack on Bondi Beach has been declared a terrorist incident, and the Australian Prime Minister is now proposing tougher national gun laws. Turning now to Providence, Rhode Island, where a vigil was held tonight for the victims of a deadly shooting on campus yesterday. Dozens of people showed support and shared hugs over the 2 lives lost and the 9 people who survived but are still recovering. And this just in, officials in Providence now say they will release a person of interest that was detained in that Brown University shooting. Officials made the disclosure within the last half hour. That's more than 12 hours after revealing they had detained a person in connection to the attack. Saturday's attack set off hours of chaos across the Ivy League campus as hundreds of officers searched for the shooter and urged students and staff to shelter in place. New tonight, Cleveland police say a man is dead and 3 others are injured after a shooting on East 93rd Street. Police tell us they were called to the 3500 block of East 93rd Street around 3 Sunday morning. They found a 24-year-old man lying unresponsive near the entrance of the building with an apparent gunshot wound to the head. He was later pronounced dead at the scene by Cleveland EMS. 3 other men arrived separately at area hospitals with gunshot wounds. All 3 victims are expected to recover. Police say right now they have no suspects. And still to come, a special night across Northeast Ohio and the world as the first candle is lit on the first night of Hanukkah. And Taste of Europe, those looking for some unique holiday gifts, found just that at a local market this weekend, despite all of the snow and cold. And a reminder for you, NBC Nightly News is coming to Northeast Ohio tomorrow. Tom Yamas is stopping by Cleveland as he visits cities and stations across the country. You can watch his Cleveland broadcast tomorrow night at 6:30, right after 3 News at 6. Tonight marks the start of Hanukkah, with celebrations lighting up communities across the country. In Washington, D.C. tonight, candles were lit on a giant menorah. Thousands of people attended the ceremony to celebrate the Jewish holiday. And in Cleveland, Temple Israel Ner Tamid in Mayfield Heights lit its giant menorah in the frigid weather. Dozens of families braving the snow and cold for the first night of the Festival of Lights. And it was holiday shopping fun in Lakewood today. Mahal's brought back its European holiday market-inspired event for the 2nd year. The event featuring more than 40 vendors. And lots of activities, lots of people that are braving this weather because they want to celebrate the holidays, but we have snow.
We have a lot of snow, yes. Depending on where you are, we got a lot with all of this lake effect. We got a couple of snow totals for you. From there, we are back above freezing on Tuesday. We might even get a little bit of sunshine, and then we continue to warm up. Guys, 50 degrees on Thursday would be our first above average day since before Thanksgiving.
I'm just excited about the sun. That's something to look forward to.
Guys, we're not going to know what it is. I hope you can find your sunglasses. This is your warning. You have a day to look for them.
Well, thank you guys for joining us. We'll all be looking forward to that sun.